All righty, we're going to run a seasoning session today. So I'm going to take these. I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to take these skillets that are ready to go. There's no oil in them at all. They're just plain dry, naked skillets. And I'm going to slide those babies in the oven at the 375 degrees. Let them get nice and warm. And then I'm going to take them out individually. There's our little 8-inch chef skillet right there. We're going to take them out individually and we'll season them we'll put some oil on them, coat them in a little oil, and then we'll put them back in, turn the temperature up to 475 degrees, and let them cook for 45 minutes. All right, we have our skillets in there sitting at 375 degrees. Very good and hot. For sure, you need to be extremely careful. I have a leather glove that'll help me move that pretty simple in there. Well, mess that up. All right. So that's the skillets off of our top shelf. You can see I'm wearing a leather glove just for some added protection there. And I might end up keeping it on for just a hair. So what we're going to season with is grapeseed oil. It's for high heat cooking. I've used it for this. It makes a nice blackish color on the skillets, and I kind of like that. So we'll go ahead and put a kind of a generous amount of oil down there. We certainly don't need that amount. And again, we got to have our skillet hot. I prefer to get my skillets hot before I put any oil in them at all, or when I'm seasoning. So let's go. We're gonna put a generous amount in there. Boy, that thing's hot through this glove too. You can see I just coating it around. Let's go back and do a little bit in this one, a little bit in this one. And we're not so concerned right now with the amount of oil because we're going to take that back out. This is our little 8-inch chef skillet. As you can see, it's discolored because we did do the sanding on the inside there. Make sure I coat. Boy, that's hot. Make sure I coat that real good. Again, we're going to start back now. We put the oil pretty liberal in there, and I'm going to turn the towel over just a little bit, and I'm going to take out as much of that oil as I can. We want to leave a really thin coat on the skillet, and that's a pretty thin coat there. Okay, old wives' tales say to put the skillets in the oven. If you're going to season, put them in the oven. I'm going to do this edge a little bit. Upside down. I don't know. I don't know what difference. I can't get my arms around what difference upside down would be. So in that case, I'm just going to call it. Let's err on the side of safety. If you can get it in there upside down, put it upside down. If you can't, just set the darn skillet in the oven. I don't know that that's going to make any difference at all. Again, you have to be really cautious. These pans are hot. I'm wearing the heavy glove, or actually it was coming through the pot holder there. All right, a little bit more, kind of the same thing here. And here, and we'll dribble around a little bit down in there. So I'm going to start over here. Doesn't hurt to go back to your original side there. owie, 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 owie creases. So I brought a little silicone brush out here. The silicone brush, they'll make a mess, they'll slop it around. I find that the little bitty silicone allows you to get the corners. Not unlike greasing a bunt pan, you need to go in there and spend the time and get your corners. Get all the cracks and creases and crevices. You're just really just jigging that around in there. Again, the less seasoned your skillet is, the more you need to work at it. If you've got a great seasoned skillet, all you're doing is giving it a kind of a cursory re-seasoning. It's not, if you miss a little hair, it's not going to be the end of the world. All right, let's start on these skillets. They're not, we're just wiping them out. You can get the sides real easy, kind of pretty much with your finger, other than your finger starts getting hot. So you have to kind of move your finger around a little bit. So you don't want to leave a bubbly mess in your pan. You want to take as much oil out as you can. In these wedge skillets, it's important also to get up in the creases. So I'll just use a knife as a tool to make sure I kind of get those seams a little bit there. You can use what you want. All right. Skillets have been coated. I'm going to now turn the temperature up to 475 degrees start, and I'll go ahead and set a cook time on that for 45 minutes. The oven will go off after 45 minutes, and it's important. Part of the cooking process is let those skillets or let that cast iron cool down in the oven. And all that's really doing is giving them more time in the heat. They're going to come up to 475 degrees. They're going to cool down gradually, and that seasoning's going to set in perfectly. All right, so you can see what we have. We put a layer of seasoning on these things. Let's see, looking pretty good. Really looking pretty nice. So this is our chef skillet that some people thought we might be ruining by sanding it. But so what we're going to do, since they're still hot, they're ready to go. We're going to go ahead, and I have the time, and I have the kitchen free today for a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put another light coat, a real light coat. I'm going to put a few dribbles. That's it. I'm going to put a little light coat, and I'm going to set them right back in there, turn the oven to 475, and we'll have 2 seasoning sessions on these skillets. And you don't have to flood it. You don't want to flood it. I'm going to take a little bit of that. Make sure I got plenty in there, but it's just it's just a basic coating. Just a basic coating. You can't even see it in there. Take this big number 10. This has had 1 coat on it. I ran this through the E-tank. It was a filthy mess, but then I got in a rush and wasn't able to, but pretty nice. So again, the chef skillet, just nice. So we're going to put these back in, like I said, 475 degrees for 45 more minutes. All right, we'll do the same thing with these. A couple of drops in each one. A little bit in here, just a little bit in those skillets there. You don't want a whole lot because you got to get it out. This we're just going to rub it in real thin. Like I say, they're already nice and hot. They're just sucking that oil. That's perfect. Again, this is not rocket science. This is just wiping a thin coat of oil into a skillet. There's no perfect way to do it. You just do the best you can, and it'll get seasoned over a period of time. You'll have a fine, like this wedge skillet right here. That's a finely seasoned, or this here, both of them are really nice seasoned skillet. So, alrighty, folks, we're finishing up our seasoning session. Well, you know, we put 2 coats on everything, 2 fresh coats on everything. So let's take a look at them. This is the other wedge skillet we used to make the meatloaf the other night. This one is just fabulous, fabulous. Coats of seasoning on there. This little 8-inch BSR is just a beautiful skillet. This is really maybe 10 coats of seasoning on that bad. That's a fine cooker. This is the controversial little 8-inch chef skillet that I did some sanding on last week. It's got 2. These are brand new coats on this one because we took everything off inside. But it's looking pretty sharp. Looking forward to using that one. This little square skillet is a workhorse here in this is an old Griswold 9-inch square skillet. It's a workhorse here in the kitchen. Just put some sauce, put some eggs, throw anything you want at it, and it'll handle it. This had a really good seasoning on it already. Now it's got 2 more coats. I'm pleased with that. My 12-inch Lodge pan, 2 additional coats, and then this one I'm bringing along slowly. Looking good, starting to look good. So that's it. That's our seasoning session. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully you folks learned something. I know I always learn something. This week it was learning a little bit more about manipulating the heat when you have so many of these pans in and out of the oven, back and forth. So thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. We have some other cast iron videos and cleaning and scrubbing and various things, cooking in the cast iron. Check us out.